welcome to the Pickup WNBA podcast. I'm your host, Cathryn Eicher.
And I'm your other host, Freddie Reese. What's up?
This is episode 107, baby.
107, baby.
My microphone almost fell, so that was a whole situation.
Listen, it's starting with a not a bang, maybe like a flop and a scream, but it's starting with some energy. Hey.
Well, now I got to keep it in. You know,
listen, we roll with it. You know, this is who we are.
Absolutely wild. Everyone, thank you so much for listening, for tuning in. Appreciate you. Freddie, where can everyone follow us?
Yeah, follow us at the WNBA Pickup podcast. We're at the WNBA Pickup on all socials. Not yet Blue Sky, but we're coming. Or also TikTok, but we're coming there too. But yeah, YouTube, Insta, Twitter, hit us up. Our subscribers have been steadily ticking up. We are small and mighty, and we do appreciate it. We made it to 50, Cathryn. So, hey.
Oh, subscribers on YouTube?
That's right.
Oh, amazing. Yes, thank you everyone for that. Appreciate it. I mean, we're new to the YouTube game, but you know, figuring it out. So appreciate all of you.
Yeah.
Today, really exciting episode. We are going to redraft the 2024 WNBA draft. Really one of the most iconic drafts ever, if not the most iconic draft, I would say.
I think,
except for maybe the very beginning of the league.
That actually is, that's very fair. But I do think in my W fandom lifetime, this is the draft that I think took the W into a mainstream in a way that, I think it's fair to say the first draft also did, but this was
another level.
It was a permanent stamp of approval. This is like the casuals came in and they're welcome to stay.
Yeah, we got people wearing Prada now.
Exactly.
So
this is going to be a good runway draft.
We're going to do 1 through 12. So first round picks. I guess we'll start at the top and we'll both reveal our picks as we go along. I mean, the first couple are going to be pretty obvious. And then as it goes down, I think that's where things are going to vary between Freddie and I. We have not shared with each other what our picks are. So that's exciting.
We have not. Small side comment. Last week we talked about the actual draft lottery, and we've done this before as a FF Cube, so we're not going to do it again. But let me tell you what, the ping pong balls, it's truly one of the most boring, insane things that ever happens in the W. And I watched the 5 minutes. It's on WNBA.com. Everyone go check it out, just to laugh at how wildly awkward this is. It's 3 people. And then every time the ball comes, the guy will be like, 3. And then he puts the ball in, I would say, Cathryn, let's load it up and show it to everyone. But that is like cruel and unusual punishment. So go ahead and, if you're so inclined to just watch people be wildly awkward.
They should get us to host it.
And our FFQ from previous years has been, does anyone have, does me or you, do we have ideas to spice this thing up? Because it is in need of spicing. Okay, that's my little piece on that.
Yeah, it sounds like it could use some salt and pepper before we add anything else.
Yeah, even some dill,
No salt, just dill.
Just some dill, something,
All right, that's absolutely wild. Okay. Are we ready to start?
Yep, we're ready. Let's do this.
Okay. With the number 1 pick in the most iconic WNBA 2024 draft, obviously, it is the one, the only, Caitlin Clark.
Wow, I went Kate Martin. I did not. I went Caitlin Clark. Me and Cathryn are gonna type this into our little spreadsheets to make sure.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Accountable.
Listen, Caitlin Clark, averaged 19 points a game, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. She's the all-time leader in rookie points, and I believe the all-time rookie leader in assists as well.
And
So
threes
and threes. I mean,
and turnovers.
she was in turnover.
You gotta. I mean, listen. I know there's some people who are like, "What about those turnovers?" Listen, I'm not one of those people, but they are. It is so like it's not just a rookie record; it's a league record. So
Yeah, she's out here breaking records everywhere. So, I mean, she also didn't break the record, but led rookies in steals as well. Um, just, you know, already one of the GOATs, and it's been incredible to watch her and, watch her career progress. I don't know what else we could say about Caitlin Clark, really.
yeah, there's just I mean, everything that you can say about her has been said. She was as advertised. She changed the league. Um, Not by herself, but she was the
Mhm.
leader in the class of women who did change the league. So, and that's not to disrespect who came before her, but that the momentum had happened long before this year, but this was the tipping point, and she was the face of the tipping point, the main face.
Yeah. I mean, just absolutely incredible. Now she's playing golf. I haven't seen her play golf yet. Have you?
I have not. I sort of assume she's going to be amazing at it.
Yeah. And we might see her in the NBA 3-point contest. Apparently, there's rumblings that they're going to add her in Clay Thompson with Sabrina Ionescu and Steph Curry. I feel like we should just get the 4 of them playing golf.
That would be wonderful as well. I mean, I also
Yeah.
want to see, like, I don't want to see just her and Sabrina. Like, I want to see like 4 to 8 W players because it's such a perfect, like, it's such a perfect
Yeah,
collab.
we should get Phoebish in there.
Totally.
She's a great
Exactly.
3-point shooter.
Jonquel. Like, this is like, this
Mhm.
would be, it would be really awesome, and I think it would highlight not just like these like Phoebus is a great example. Like it would highlight not just Sabrina and Caitlin and sort of these like uh you know like name brand players.
Mhm.
I think you have some 3-point assassins who could come in there and kill it. I mean, like, listen, throw Tarasi in there too. She was bombing last year, and everyone knows and loves Tarasi anyway. She'd be so competitive. Like, she'd be
She would
great.
be so competitive, as even if she lost, she would talk the most shit, and it would be
Yeah.
the best. It would be wildly entertaining. Speaking of Sabrina, I gotta do this real quick. Look at what I got in the mail.
What?
I got my
Okay,
Sabrinas.
YouTube friends. Cathryn
I got
has
my
Sabrina's.
Sabrinas.
Can I see the
Like,
bottom of
even
those?
this part. The
Oh,
witch?
no, yeah. When you said this part, like I like the soles, like the bottom of that's
Yeah,
pretty
isn't that
dope.
really cool?
Those are nice.
Anyway, I customized it very similar to Ellie the Elephant. A few adjustments. I felt inspired.
Listen,
Really great.
if we're by the way, if we're having a collab, bring in Ellie the Elephant like immediately. Right?
Dreams coming true. Okay, we should probably move on.
Let's do it. Number
With
2.
the number 2 pick in the 2024 WNBA draft. I believe we have the same pick.
I believe we do as well.
It is Angel Reese,
Angel Reese.
who listen, she was the greatest let's say, I don't know if I want to use the term foil, but the greatest rival to Caitlin Clark, to the point where she made the rookie of the year race very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
She broke the rookie record all time for rebounds.
Yep.
I believe she had a double double for like something like 10 games or 13 games straight.
She broke the double double. The
Record.
I said double. I was the double double record. Just league record. So she broke
Yes.
just records. Period. So I think, yeah, I think you said it well with Foyle. She's so much more than that.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
my father-in-law is a huge sports fan. Like he was we were talking yesterday, and he's not that big of a basketball fan. He's more of like a kind of like a college football guy. But he's like, hey man, I'm seeing Angel everywhere.
Oh,
She
that's
is
awesome.
she is like a big deal in the sports world. And we were talking about how, as much as people, I think nuanced people are kind of frustrated by the constant pushing them together as rivals, it's working, it's selling.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, there's people at the end of this, so you got to make sure that you know all the toxicity, racism, homophobia, all that kind of stuff is counted and condemned. But these two, this is the there's other people we're going to get to, other big people, but these two are the major driving forces of this draft, and why it was so explosive and successful.
Yeah, and like people were kind of critical of Angel Reese in terms of like her scoring, but I think like she's got a great overall game. And I feel like shooting percentage is something that a lot of players can and often do improve upon as their career progresses.
Yeah, well
So
said.
it's like one of those things where it's like that's like one of like the least things I'm concerned about. Like if it was something like you constantly turned it over, or you had bad handles or something, then I'd be a little more concerned. But the shooting percentage can and I think will improve with her. And also like the rebounding is just so impressive.
It's so to lead any category, like league category in your rookie year, is out of control
Yeah.
and completely unheard of. And to be fair, right, her field goal percentage is 39%. Caitlin's is basically 41.7. So it's 3 percentage points higher. I think the 18.8% from 3 is rough. So that's really where,
Right.
who knows if Angel will be someone who can add the 3. We'll see. But she doesn't really, she takes 0.5 threes a game.
But
So
I
yeah,
think yeah, but
knock, right? But
yeah, I would say it's a good point, but I would say to counter that, I feel like because of the position she plays, she doesn't necessarily have to have a three-point shot.
no.
But what you do need is somebody else on the floor with her who can help you space the floor enough, who does.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's something for Chicago to consider. But because her rebounding numbers are so high, you're better off not having her at the 3-point line in offense anyways, because you want her there to collect that rebound, I feel.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring up Chicago specifically because, uh, you know, I feel like me and you are going to do this forever. We have to tout the fact that we were both like, hey, Angel should be drafted second overall. She was drafted 7th overall. So this
Yeah.
is, I don't know if anyone
And it was
climbs.
it was baffling to us at the time.
Yeah, and I think it's going to go down as a major mistake. You think about, let me just quickly raffle off. So, uh, could you imagine her? What the season would have been like if she was on the Sparks?
Mm,
Obviously, Cardosa got taken ahead of her with the Sky. And Sparks again passed up on her. The Wings passed up on her, and the Mystics passed up on her. So they're all, I'd say most of those teams, besides perhaps, we'll get to the Sparks, but besides the Sparks, I would say are probably like kind of regretting it. Although the weird part is that the Sky passed up on her and then got her anyhow. So really, I'm talking about the Wings and the Mystics. But yeah,
yeah.
Angel.
I agree. Okay, number 3 pick. This is where I don't know where you're gonna go with this.
Same.
My number 3 pick is Rickea Jackson.
Okay, Jackson. Let me just go to where mine was. Dum dum dum. Oh, Too many tabs here, folks.
Yeah, you got too many tabs open. Who's your number? Go ahead.
Mine's Cameron Brink.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So both the Sparks players, but go ahead.
Yeah, so mine is here's my logic. Cameron was injured so early in the season that I think people forget about the fact that she was also in that very early conversation of, hey, wait a second, is this the rookie of the year? I'll let you speak to Rakea, who I think really came on late and was like, holy shit. But Brink had 2.3 blocks a game and was just a major force early on. And yeah, unfortunately had that brutal season-ending injury. But, also if we're talking about kind of like the big sort of force of nature that this draft was, she was a major force of nature, from a fashion perspective, and then also on court. So
yes, absolutely. Listen, she's great, and I'll talk about my thoughts on Cameron Brink when I get to her on my list. But Rakia Jackson, I think, had really, really impressive numbers. She averaged 13.4 points a game. She averaged just shy of 4 rebounds, 1.5 assists. I think these are great rookie numbers. I think I think she's just going to be a force to be reckoned with in this season, or in this league, for a long time. And I think she had a really impressive rookie season. I mean, the Sparks, weren't really in a position to do much in terms of winning and things like that. But I think Rakia Jackson's in this for the long haul. And, I want to see the Sparks, turn things around. And they're not going to get Cameron back till maybe like the second half of next season. With an ACL, it's typically a year. So we'll see when she comes back. This team's probably still a couple years away, but I think Rakia Jackson is awesome. And I think she's not in terms of rookies, but maybe in terms of like the league as a whole, slightly underrated. But I see Rakia Jackson as a future All-Star.
Yeah, I think that's
not that
fair.
Cameron Brink won't be. I'm just saying I see her as a future All-Star. And I love everything you said about Cameron. I don't disagree with anything you've said.
Well, I think also what's interesting for the Sparks is they have they have a second overall pick as well. So I agree with you there. I don't think they're going to be a force to reckon with for a while until they get some veterans, but we'll see what they do in the offseason. And they definitely are going to have, between Rakea, Cameron, and then, right now it's slotted as Kiki Arafian, who, did I pronounce that right? I think did.
So.
Yeah. I'll double check to make sure, but
Karina corrected our pronunciation of her name from last week's episode. So sorry, Kiki, that we got it wrong. But I listened to her name and thought I had it right in the moment. Like I don't know where I went wrong, so I'm sorry.
No, Karina's so on it, and Karina, if you're listening, thank you. Karina's so on it that she let us know that she actually came out and it would give a recent correction.
What do you mean?
So here you go. Kiki, Iri often. So Iri often. Got it. Kiki, Iri often.
All right.
You're like, all right, Freddie, sort of got it. We'll move.
We'll work on it. Okay. Number 4 pick. Freddie, do you want to go first this time?
Yeah. First. So my number 4 is Rakea.
Okay.
Yeah. So my number 4 is Rakea. I thought that.
See, you keep saying Rakea and I say Rakia.
Wow. Well, we're gonna have to redraft our pronunciations next week. The pronunciation redraft.
Oh man. But anyway.
But yeah, she I thought came on late and was like fully looked like she belonged. Just was a little bit overshadowed by the season that was, all about Caitlyn and all about Angel. And then at the same time, you're on a team that's struggling and kind of bottoming out, and people are not going to, they're not going to pay you as much mind. But, you went over the stats already, had a really impressive season, and, a very well-rounded player as well. I'll add, 35% from three. So just really efficient, low turnover, almost a steal a game. Great season from Rikia.
That's awesome. My number 4 pick, and I've gone on a little bit of a limb here, just a little. I've gone with Aaliyah Edwards.
Wow. Okay.
As my number 4 pick. So Aaliyah Edwards averaged 7 points. Okay. But 5.6 rebounds. Right? She's got 1.4 assists. But here's the thing with Aaliyah Edwards. I've picked her over my next pick, which was really tough. My 4 and 5 pick were hard. But I picked her because I feel like she's got a higher ceiling.
That's fair.
Like, I feel like when I look at Aaliyah Edwards, I'm like, this is the beginning for Aaliyah Edwards. I think all these numbers across the board are going to improve. So this is just like a huge hunch that I have. Maybe I'm biased because she's Canadian.
Canadian bias.
But, and I'll explain when I get to my number 5 pick. My number 4, which is Aaliyah Edwards, and my number 5 were so neck and neck. I had a hard time with these two, but I think when I think about the long term, I just feel like Aaliyah Edwards has a higher ceiling, and I could be very wrong because we're still in 2024. So who knows?
We are. Well, it's very. This is a fun part about.
I also wanted to be a little controversial, just a little different. You know what I mean?
Not jazz it up.
Not too much. Not like. Oh, I'm gonna put Caitlin Clark number 5 for the clickbait. No, not like that.
Yeah, that's out of control.
Yeah, that is out of control. But people out there do that, and you need to know when that's happening.
You do need to know.
I genuinely believe Aaliyah Edwards has a high ceiling, and I look forward to seeing what she does.
Well, I think also to your point, she was drafted 6th overall. You're putting her at 5. 4. Sorry. You're putting her at 4, and it's still in the same year, right? This is we're doing an extremely recent redraft.
Yeah, and listen, I want it 10 years later. 4 through actually now that when I look at it, 4 through 6 pretty interchangeable for me, but I want it to be a little spicy, but also I'm thinking not just how they did this year, but how I think they're gonna do in years to come.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm at.
I'm into it.
Okay, number 5. I mean, I keep talking about my number 5 pick, so should I just go ahead?
Go for it.
I got Camila Cardoso. So Camila Cardoso and Aaliyah Edwards, their numbers are almost identical. So across the board here, let's look at Camila. So she has a few more points, 9.8 points.
I also have Camila, by the way.
Oh, I'm maybe an idiot. Maybe I was comparing her to the wrong person. She's got 7.8, almost 8 rebounds. There's a world where she averages a double-double. So you've got Camila Definitely. At 5 also. You both have her at 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't feel so terrible. Why do you have Camila Cardoso at 5?
I think it's a lot of the same reasons that first of all, I think she produced a decent statistical season. Chicago was an absolute mess, and it's hard to, not dissimilar from Los Angeles. It's hard to gather, like when people are on really, really bad teams, it's hard to parse out like what is a meaningless stat, what's not a meaningless stat. But she had, 1.4 blocks a game. Is 6'7". So, I'm going off potential, and she was drafted so high for this reason, right? So she was drafted 3rd overall, right? And I think someone who's 6'7" and comes along like this, it's rare. Like she's also from South Carolina, powerhouse school. So that although those things don't fade away, and
Mhm.
again, I don't even think that she had a bad statistical year. I just think
No, she
that,
had a great year.
not dissimilar to Rakea. Like these are some of the I'd be so interested to see where where Jackson, where Cardosa, where Brink, like Edwards, where they go in this next draft coming up. Right, Paige is going to go first overall, but do some of these players go second, third, fourth? I think maybe, and that's interesting to me because they were. This draft was
I'm
just
confused
stacked.
by what you're saying. What do you mean by where they're going to be this year in the draft? I'm
I
confused.
think if some of these players were drafted, in this 2025 draft coming up, I think
What?
some of them would go higher than where they went in 2024.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I think 2024 was just a stacked draft.
Of course, that's why we're doing this, because it was the most iconic draft ever.
Mhm.
So here, okay, I need to explain my, and it's not really a bias. It's only a bias in the context of a redraft.
Okay.
Why I don't have Camila Cardoso higher. And this is my little spicy little bias here, and people
Ooh,
can
spicy bias.
add, in the comments if they agree, disagree. I don't need to be quote unquote right about this, but this is where the bias comes from. She's, like you said, 6'7", 6'8", something like that. But Angel Reese out rebounded her every game by quite a bit.
Mhm.
And so this is my concern, because I love that Angel Reese is such a great rebounder, but I'm like, how are you that much taller? Because Angel Reese is like 6'2", 6'3", I think.
Mhm.
And it's like, how are you out? Like, how is she out rebounding you? Is my question. Because Angel Reese averaged like 13 point something, 13.1. So 13 rebounds a game. And it's like, to me, it's like that number between her and Camila Cardoso should be reversed. Now, there's a world where Camila Cardoso ends up being the next like Brittany Griner, and she's one of the greatest centers who've ever played this game. Right? Like that is still very much in the realm of possibility to me as of right now. But and maybe I just didn't watch enough Chicago Sky games to really know. But this is the only reason why I have this slight bias, and why I put Aaliyah Edwards above her, because I'm like, I just don't understand why Angel Reese is out rebounding you.
Can I offer you some devil's advocate?
Please, because I'm not claiming I'm like, right about all this. Go ahead.
It's I just to counter myself. Anytime someone's like, "Can I play devil's advocate?" I always want to be like, "No." Um, we just stop them in their tracks. But I think there's this is we're not haters, right? So we're not Angel or Caitlin Clark
No, I
haters.
think Camilla, like I just said, she could be the next Brittany Griner. She could be one of the next great centers ever in this league.
But I think what some folks, hearing what you said, might suggest is that Cardoso would get more rebounds if she missed more shots. Right. So Angel got a lot of her own rebounds.
But it's
Cardoso,
not just her own rebounds.
it's not just her own, but Cardoso hit 52% from the field, which is just like way better than anyone else in this rookie. Like she just was like, if she's near, if she's near the rim, it's a bucket. Whereas like
Sure.
Angel's 39%, so that's a 13% drop off.
So we're saying 4 rebounds a game.
No,
Angel
I'm
Reese
not
are
saying
her
that.
own rebound.
I'm not saying there's a lot of because I also think when you're really big, like because for instance, like Angel Reese also out rebounded Brittany Griner, also out rebounded Stewie,
Yeah,
and
but
I think like
Brittany's on I think the downward of her
she is,
career.
but I guess my point is like when you're fast, it's sort of like this. I'll put a little drop in the NBA bucket. One of the best rebounders of all time, Dennis Rodman, certainly not one of the tallest players, and I think that sometimes there's a mobility limit where you assume someone's super tall, they're going to get a million rebounds.
Yeah.
And it's not quite like you got to be. It's a hustle stat too, right?
The mobility point is a really good one. And that was one of the reasons why I kind of have Aaliyah Edwards just shy over Camila Cardoso, because I
Yep.
think that's one of the reasons why I've put her ceiling higher
I think that's fair.
as of right now, is for that reason. So we'll see. Obviously, yeah, like you said, we're not haters. And, like, these are like really picky things when it comes to this redraft, because everybody's like legitimately so great and so iconic. But
Yeah.
anyway, okay, number 6.
Number 6. Okay, here we go. My number 6 is Aaliyah Edwards. So for, I guess like we're just like, I don't know. I don't even want to say like opposite ends of the coin. We're just have
You can.
very slightly different ideas. And I think that Aaliyah Edwards, was drafted 5th. I'm putting her 6th. It's really not like a major knock or anything. I think she's fine. I think she played for Washington, and
I know.
Washington did make a late surge, right? But yeah, Aaliyah didn't blow me away, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's
fair.
sort of, but again, I think she's great.
So number 6, this is where I have Cameron Brink. And like I said,
Okay.
4 to 6 were hard for me. Now, everything you said about Cameron Brink is true, right? Like, she led rookies in blocks. She's an incredible shot blocker. The only reason why I have her lower on the list is really because she only averaged 7.5 points. And I think I want to see that number higher, considering she's one of the main players on this team. And she does play so close to the basket. I feel like I want to see her average 10 points a game. So even though like she got injured and it sucks and she only played the first half of the season, I think even in that first half, I would have liked to have seen more than 7.5 points a game. That's the only reason. And I'm telling you, between 4, 5, and 6, this is a real splitting hairs for me. Like, this was not easy, but that's why I have her 6th. The shot blocks are incredible. I do think Cameron Brink has a high ceiling if she can stay healthy. I think she's incredible. I love her and Rickea Jackson together, but that's why I have her at 6.
So Cameron definitely seems like she is the largest victim of our redraft so far. So she was drafted 2nd overall. I have her at 3rd. You have her at 6th. So
yeah, but I mean, I think a lot of people in the comments are going to say I should be flipping Aaliyah Edwards and Cameron Brink.
We'll see.
And I think that's fair. And I think maybe I'm being biased and I'm being a little controversial here.
Back up the Brinks truck into our comments. Let us know. By the way,
I do really like Cameron Brink. Like, I think she's awesome.
Can people start calling her Brinks truck? Is that a thing?
No, but if you want to write to the Basketball Reference people and see what you can.
Is that what people do to get
nicknames? I don't know how people get nicknames.
Basketball Reference.
I don't know how people get nicknames on Basketball Reference.
I think I'm going to be one of those people. Hello, my name's Freddie.
Because some players have nicknames and you're like, I have never heard someone call that player that nickname.
Such as
you know
Brinks
what I mean?
Truck, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know where this comes from. Okay, I'm being a little controversial on here. It's fine.
Good.
But,
this is what we're doing.
And as this goes on, I will continue to be slightly controversial, I think.
Let's do it.
Okay, we're at number 7.
Number
Freddie,
7.
who you got at number 7?
I got Julie Van Loo.
Okay.
So she's someone I wasn't super Shaq meme. I wasn't familiar with your game, and I was impressed. She, well-rounded. She was the obviously it's a big gap between her and Caitlin, but for rookies she was number 2 in assists with 4.3. I think again back to the dregs of the league. A lot of people didn't watch Washington. We even had a whole pod where we were like, hey, when Washington went on that late run and almost made the playoffs, we were like, hey, what's going on with Washington? And it was like this super everyone contributing type thing. So shout out to Julie. She had 23 minutes a game, which is great for a rookie. 7.4 points. Was not really great from the field with 34%. Again, her three is not good either, 32%. But 4.3 assists a game, and half a steal. Like that's pretty solid. She was undrafted, by the way, right? So this is a
Yeah.
huge.
I also put her at number 7.
Okay.
And here's the thing. So she's 31, which made me consider putting her lower or maybe not even at all on the list. However, the stat that impressed me the most was she averages 4.3 assists.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, if you're averaging that in assists, yes, you're 30, but if you're giving that number to a team for the next, let's say 5-6 years, incredible stuff. So I think like that was the number that jumped out at me the most. And hey man, good for her for
Oh
making the
yeah.
league and for having an impact. So incredible stuff.
Yep. Agreed. I think obviously we're at the back half now. This is going to be, I don't know how controversial it's going to be, but it's going to be more just kind of like I sort of chose some stats that I've popped out to me. I just alluded to, like, minutes played is big, right? That shows me, even if you're not putting up major points or assists or whatever, that shows me that the coach is like, okay, you're good. So my number 8 is JC Sheldon, who was a drop off from 5th. She was drafted 5th overall. So JC Sheldon is my number 8th pick. So JC, pardon me. Where are we here? JC, 23 minutes a game, and just 5.5 points, which is not that special. Didn't shoot the three well, and
It's kind of a disappointing season from her, I would say.
2 rebounds,
Considering
2.5
she
assists.
was picked 5th originally. So she was picked before Angel Reese, like we talked about. She was picked before Aaliyah Edwards. I mean, it wasn't,
Also played for Dallas. So, but
Yeah.
still was okay, right? Still was okay. But yeah,
Mhm.
I have people in front of her, right? So,
So yeah, minutes is interesting. So I actually went with someone for this pick. I guess we're at number 8 now.
that's right.
Yeah. Who didn't have a lot of minutes, but
Okay.
when I look at their stats, okay, I'm going to just say the name. It's Alyssa Peely. So Alyssa Peely only averaged 6 minutes a
Mm-hmm.
game, but in those 6 minutes, she has 2 points and a rebound and almost, wait, hold on. No, the steals blocks, it's like point something. So, but what I think my point is that, like, she's on a Cheryl Reeve team. She's on an extremely good team and only got to play garbage time. But
Mm-hmm.
when she did play garbage time, she tried to make it count. And I think she wouldn't have a spot on Cheryl Reeve's team if she wasn't good.
That's
And
right.
I think if she were on a team like Washington or like the Sparks, you know what I mean? Like a team that isn't doing as well and she got more minutes, I think she'd be significantly more impactful. So I feel like I still believe in her game and I believe in her ability to have a huge impact in the W. She just needs the opportunity. So, and that's kind of like, the interesting thing about that is like, that's kind of how players are drafted, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of it is just like a guess, a hunch on potential. And even though this rookie year is over, I still feel good about her potential because to me, it's like to average 2 points in only 6 minutes is not nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think like, yeah, if given the opportunity, I think she would do really good. And if I were building a team, like if I were the Valkyries or something like that, and we'll get into that next week, by the way, I feel like I would have my eye on someone like her as like a backup center.
Yeah, 100%. She's on my list. you sold me. I feel like I have her too low, but
Mm.
I was probably too focused on the minute thing, and that's a really good point with the links specifically. And and any team that has like championship aspirations. Hey, Reeve, maybe you play Peely more, maybe you win.
Yeah, maybe. Not that they need help winning; they win a lot.
Yeah, you're absolutely don't need any advice from me whatsoever, ever in your life.
Cheryl Reeve, don't call us. We are
Yeah,
not.
yeah. Engelbert, hit us up. Reeve, oh
Engelbert,
sorry,
call us. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Reeve. We're sorry
Uh,
for what we did.
okay, so we're number 9 now.
Number 9. Yeah. So these last couple picks for me, you know, nothing too spicy, but yeah, who's your number 9?
So my number 9 is JC Sheldon.
Okay.
And we talked a bit about how she had a disappointing rookie season. Hopefully she brings it back as a sophomore. Hard to say, because like they're obviously going to draft Paige Beckers, and I don't know how that's going to like work out for JC, or what adjustments this team's going to make. They also have a new coach now. So I don't know, again, like, will she get more opportunity under a new coach? But consider, I think like if it were a weaker draft, her numbers probably would be more impressive. But like you said, like 5.4 points a game, you know, like 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Like if the assist number was higher or something like that, then I'd be like, okay, I see where she contributes to the team. But it's just kind of low across the board considering she was drafted 5th. And I think like, a lot of the redraft too is part like, did you live up to expectations?
Mm-hmm.
And in this very, very iconic draft, I feel like she's one of the top rookies that didn't live up to those expectations, unfortunately. But she's still got time. She's only a rookie. She's young.
Still got time.
Absolutely.
My number 9 is Sevki Usun,
Mhm.
who was undrafted. So
Did you say Sev Q?
I said Sevki.
Oh, okay.
Sevki Usun was my pronunciation.
Well, the spelling is Sevgi.
So it's
So
maybe Sevgi. I think I said Sevki. So maybe I
yeah,
hit
I
that
don't.
G like a Q.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Might also be a silent G. Uh,
Yeah, it could be Sevi.
the pronunciation redraft coming at you. But yeah, she again, no major pop out stats, but when I was looking through and figuring things out, she again, I really focus on the minute thing, maybe too much, but she was 20 minutes a game, 4 points a game, and 3 assists, right? So she was actually number 3 amongst rookies in assists last year. So
Yeah,
I thought, just solid contribution from someone who wasn't draft,
yeah,
went
wasn't
undrafted.
in the draft. 26. I have her as my next pick at number 11. So for the same reasons, I think like the assist number, yeah, 3 assists is the thing that jumped out at me the most, because to me it's like, okay, you might not have the most points. She also has 5 points. I mean, if you think about it, they're both on Dallas, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, JC Sheldon had 5.4. She's got 4.4 points a game, but she's got 3 assists. Like their numbers are pretty similar. JC Sheldon's at 2.5 assists, but like one was drafted 5th and one was undrafted.
Mm-hmm.
It's like wild. But anyway, yeah, she had I'm saying I was going to say Sevgi or Sevi Yuzan. And I apologize if all of these are wrong. But yeah, impressive start to the league, and she made an impact.
So
Uh
she's your number 10.
10.
Okay.
So, okay, we got number 11 now. Who do you have at number 11?
Wait. She was my losing count a little bit here. She was my 9. So
Oh, so you haven't done your number 10.
so my number
My bad.
10, my number 10 is Kate Martin.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got Kate Martin at 10. And again, nothing majorly popped out, but I know she was kind of a household name. But I had Kate Martin actually at 10 for almost the exact same reason that you had Peely at 9. No, so you had Peely at 8.
At 8, yeah.
What she made a really, really competitive team, and before the season started, the Aces were like, "Hey, is this a 3-peat team?" Is only like mid-season where we started to be like, "Wait a second, the Liberty are hot," and I'm not so sure about the Aces.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, nothing wild, but Kate Martin is a player who's like going to be an unrivaled and like is a household name, and that's like an end of the bench player, right? And she's someone for sure who like we can watch out for when it comes to like core players and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are we ready to move on to number 11?
Let's do it.
So I have Kate Martin at 11.
Nice.
For all the same reasons that you said, same with the Alyssa Peely thing on such a great team. Often, well, I think Kate Martin played a little more than just garbage minutes, right? Like there were times where like she was out there and it wasn't like necessarily just the end of games, but only averaged 11 minutes a game, averaged 2.6 points, 1.6 rebounds, almost a full assist. I think Kate Martin is one of those players, like if given the opportunity, she could have a larger impact on winning. And like you said, she made a very competitive team. Maybe because Candace Parker retired, that opened up a spot, but still she made the Aces team. And I think she has more to show. Okay, last pick. Number 12.
So
Oh,
but
sorry.
no.
I keep messing this up. This is me. I'm so sorry, Freddie.
Listen, we're at the last little part here. So I'll just say my 11th is Alyssa Peely. All the same reasons you had Alyssa Peely, a couple spots higher. But I think that this means we both have the same 12th pick. And
does it?
I think so. Cathryn, I'm going to give you the first opportunity to properly pronounce.
Oh, no, we don't have the same 12th pick.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, then sorry. Mine's...
Oh, we talked about this player before we started, and then I cut them last minute.
You cut them? Okay, well, then mine's Azine Kalu.
Yeah.
So, I hope I pronounced that right. I will work on it if not. But yeah, Azine Kalu is my final pick of the draft. Cathryn's making a face.
I'm making a face because I just feel so bad about the names.
This is why
we're gonna get ridiculed about these names.
We gotta hop in there and humble ourselves. By the way, Azine only played one game, so I'm not sure what that's all about. But wait for the dream. Played a decent amount of that game, and yeah, this is I don't know what to say. It's the final pick, so. That's my final pick.
Okay, my final pick, and at this stage of the draft, it gets a bit hard, right? But my final pick is Celeste Taylor from the Phoenix Mercury. She averaged 14 minutes, had 2.6 points a game, 1.3 assists, 1.3 rebounds. Was actually a +1 on the court. Not a lot of rookies are they have a negative plus-minus rating, but she's got a plus rating here, and she's young. She's 23. This was one of the main reasons why I picked her over Azine Kalu, who has impressive numbers for this one game. But Celeste is only 23, so I figured okay, and she played 22 games. So I feel like she's probably got a higher ceiling. So that's why I went with her.
Love it. That marks the end of our redraft. Should we do a quick list off?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so here's my redraft. 1, Caitlin. 2, Angel. 3, Cameron. 4, Rakia. 5, Camilla. 6, Aaliyah. 7, Julie. 8, JC. 9, Sevi. 10, Kate. 11, Alyssa. 12, Azine.
Okay. And mine is 1, Caitlin, 2, Angel Reese, 3, Rakia Jackson, 4, Aaliyah Edwards, 5, Camila Cardoso, 6, Cameron Brink, 7, Julie Van Loo, 8, Alyssa Peely, 9, JC Sheldon, 10, Sevi. We're going with Sevi Uzan.
Yeah, it did make sense to me.
11, Kate Martin, and 12, Celeste Taylor. Boom.
We've done
Look
it.
at us. We did it.
We did.
50 minutes. I don't know why I thought this would be shorter, but
Lists always end up doing that because there's the list and then you're like, okay, I gotta explain myself. And I mean, I have an FFQ, but I feel like we should save it.
Yeah, we should just call it.
I think so.
What if your FFQ? I feel like our listeners love the Freddie's fun questions so much that I don't want to like completely lose it. So here, I'm gonna pitch a new one to you. And we'll save the one you had for this week next week.
Okay, that's juicy.
And maybe we've done this before, so I apologize if we have.
There's gonna be some repeats.
We got we're talking about the 2024 draft, right? And I know you're not a fashion guy, but let's say you're in this draft.
Okay.
Right. Let's just say we're in this draft. We're walking the red carpet. What are you wearing?
I'm wearing the world's most bedazzled top hat. Okay, so I listen. I'm in a suit and a top hat, and
I was like, and what else?
Honestly, nothing else. I'm buck naked with a top hat, and then when I come through and people are like, "Whoa, this is a bold choice," I'm like, bolder yet. Take off the top hat, and there's another top hat under that top hat, Russian doll style.
So when you tip your hat, there's still a hat.
You better believe it.
So what color is it? What color is the suit?
I'm gonna say like a fuchsia.
Fuchsia.
Yeah.
Like fuchsia on fuchsia.
That's right.
So it's monochrome fuchsia.
Monochrome.
You're not wearing
fuchsia.
like a white shirt underneath or a black shirt underneath.
No, it's like monochrome. It's sparkling. It's really bright.
Wow.
People are like blinded. Yeah.
Ooh, this is really good. That's really good.
What about you?
I would wear I would wear a sari because I'm half South Asian and I love saris, and I'm never been married, and so I feel like there's different things like red is like traditional like wedding color, so I wouldn't do that. But there's so much you can do with the fashion, and now like they have saris that have like a really cute like belt, so it's like your top is covered, then there's a belt, then you kind of have some midriff showing, and then the skirt, but it's all one piece of fabric, right? And then it's like it's like draped and pleated in such a way, and then obviously I use safety pins because I'm not insane. Some people are like, ooh, but whatever, like we all use safety pins to like get this thing to stay on.
I didn't know it was controversial.
No, I don't think it's controversial, but it's like like old school traditional. I don't think they're using safety pins, but I'm like, I'm not trying to have like a moment where it all falls apart.
Yeah, no, you don't want.
I have some giant, like huge, like old school diaper style safety pins that are for saris. But in terms of color scheme, I would want to do something probably floral. Probably I might go super girly and pink because it is springtime. So I think I would go with a springtime floral ensemble, but a sari, and then like a really like, I don't know, like I would do something with the hair too. Like I had these really cute buns in my hair for my birthday. Where it was like almost like a French braid, but it was just little buns instead of a French braid. I think I would do that. So I would look normal, cute. You would look insane.
I'd look like a Willy Wonka style. Yeah.
But if I'm floral pink and you're fuchsia, that's actually kind of awesome.
We'd match.
We would go. We wouldn't match, but we would go.
And people would say, "Oh, are you two getting drafted together?" And we'd say, "No, we're not getting drafted at all. We're podcasters."
We host the lottery. We host
we host the 5-minute lottery. We've been tasked with jazzing up the lottery.
and here we are.
It's not going to be hard
jazzing it up.
because previously the people before us didn't smile and they just shouted the numbers out in a terrifying
So
fashion.
funny. Okay, let's wrap it up there.
All
Next week's Freddie FFQ is gonna be all Freddie. So
It's gonna
get
be good.
ready. We're
Yeah.
gonna talk about the Valkyries redraft, how that works, who we think might be up for grabs, so to speak, and all that fun stuff. Thank you so much for listening, for tuning in. We hope you really enjoyed this redraft. Let us know if you agree, if you disagree with any of these picks. Do I have Aaliyah Edwards too high? Do I have Cameron Brink too low? Do I have Alyssa Peely too high? Let us know. I want to know what you all think. Thank you again so much for listening, for tuning in. Follow us at the Pickup WNBA Pod on your social medias. Freddie, any parting words?
Yeah, follow us, subscribe. Thanks so much for everything, and we'll get busy. We'll get busy figuring out who our core players are.
Ooh, exciting. Okay, bye everyone.
All right, peace, everybody.